Handheld. Handheld. Handheld.
1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, delegates, Moodlers. Are you having a good time? Now, if this was Blackpool or something, I'd be saying, now, are you having a good time? Oh, God. No, I know it's the end of a long day. So, no, we've got some stuff, some good stuff to go on before we finish today. Frank is going to be talking about some stuff for this evening and some other announcements. Before we do that, there is an Unconference report which we're going to do. If you're not sure what the Unconference report is, there was a collection of people that came yesterday for not a Moodle conference, and they were all sort of Moodle techies, and apparently they had a really fabulous time. So they're going to report back about yesterday's event, and then I'm really pleased to have Frank McLaughlin, who I'll be introducing a bit later on when we've finished. Okay, so no further ado, I'll pass over to Frank.
Thanks, Phil. Is that? Hello.
Bit further up.
Yeah, like Phil said, we had the first ever, I believe, pre-Mood Unconference yesterday. The reason why we did it, obviously not because we thought 2 days of Mood is too little to organize. The main reason for it was when we did Mood last year, one of the feedback, actually the biggest feedback, was that people wanted a pre-Mood developer Unconference. So we thought, oh, let's do something crazy. Let's give the people what they want. So we did it. Initially, kind of the idea was that Dan Humpertson, which I think few of you probably know, kind of kicked off the whole process. Unfortunately, he had to kind of drop out last minute-ish due to some family issues, which happens. So we were left with trying to make the most of it. On that note, saying an Unconference, yeah, it's kind of a big, cute little scary monster, because obviously Unconference, everybody thinks, as the name implies, there isn't much to organize, but actually there is. So what I was really happy about yesterday is we obviously got all the developer geeks and techies together, and in a true spirit of an Unconference, we got those like-minded individuals. They're working on the same problems. They shared their experience, and at one point there was a really big pool. I think it was about Gavin and Tim, and it was almost like a self-help group. So there was a lot of discussions going, and I've been there, I've done that. So I think it was really good. But looking at some of the we had kind of like two main keynotes during the day. And one was Mahendra Mahey, who's a project manager for the developer community. He made the joke about CSI, there haven't been any deaths, so I didn't even realize that was in the title. So the good thing about having him on board, which I think, and maybe people can give me a show of hands if that's true, is he actually has a lot of experience with building communities. So having him there and sharing his experience about local development, how to build a community, and also how to have a successful Unconference, I thought was quite helpful. And I thought it kind of helped bring the day alive, because in the morning I was actually quite worried because it was very quiet in the room, even though people were sitting together. But I think after his kind of little speech, I think things picked up a little bit, and we kind of got underway. One of the things he actually talked about, which I thought was quite interesting, is the value of local developers. So actually having developers in-house, or developers who know the university, the college, the institution you work at. And I think he made some really good points there. His slides are actually on the blog, so if you want to kind of revisit those and look at those, they're all available online. and he also shared some tips for starting a community, which I think, I mean, all of you being here, obviously there's a strong Moodle community. One of the questions that came up with the developer Unconference is, should we have kind of a techie, geeky developer type separate thing? Should it be part of Moodle Mood? Should we do something individually? And he just shared some thoughts on, getting a core group of people, which I think we had yesterday with Tim Hunt, Gavin Hendrick, and all the other people that were involved. And I thought that brought the whole thing alive. One other good thing which I really liked is don't be afraid to ask for help, because in a way you can assume that someone probably had the same problem you had, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Then we also had Steve and Alex from MMU, and I don't know if some of you probably have seen Mark Stubbs' presentation this morning about cloud formations for curriculum transformation. And it was based on that, but it was a bit more techy. But kind of the key points to take away from that for me are actually quite non-techy, as you can see. And they listen to students, they deliver what people want, and they avoid what people dislike. I mean, it sounds really simple, doesn't it? So, I actually have Paul here from Exeter, who kindly volunteered to kind of share, who got volunteered to share his thoughts. And he's probably, because it's better to hear it from the horse's mouth, no offense.
One, two. Yes, it wasn't exactly volunteered, it was more press ganged, I must admit. What Frankie's going to start playing now is there were a load of video clips taken yesterday catching people's opinions of what they felt the Unconference had gone like. And he came up to me later in the day and said, "Oh, would you mind doing the same thing again?" And I thought, yeah, that'll be in front of a camera again. And he said, "Oh, no, this afternoon it'll be in front of the whole conference." So that was a bit of a shock to me. Basically, I just reiterate what Frank's just said. It was a really, really useful environment. Most of us were Unconference virgins, if we can use that word. We didn't know what we were letting ourselves in for or how the actual event was going to take place. But after a bit of goading by Frank and his team, we sort of all got into the swing of things, and there was once again, a bit more press ganging going on. We were saying, you could speak about something, couldn't you, to a group of people? And we eventually got a whole load of suggestions up on a board with time slots. But what was really good about it is when we got into those sessions, as Frank says, we all had our own experiences and could really join in with like a community discussion. And I'm sorry if this sounds a bit targeted, but because it was a techie, geeky environment, we actually got a lot of content out of it, answering the questions that we really wanted answers to. Networking is invaluable at these sort of conferences. I'm sure you all get that out of the tea and coffee sessions and lunchtime, things like that. But quite often it's hard, speaking from a techie point of view, to find out who in the crowd is a techie person. And you spend your whole time searching for them. This environment, actually, we knew everyone there was going to understand what we were saying, would have those answers. So it was really, really good from that point of view. And one of the most vibrant sessions was actually the conversion from 1.9 to 2 of Moodle, which was only supposed to go on for 20 minutes, something like that. And there were 2 sessions after it, which, funny enough, I'd been asked to do or forced to do, and we just said, no, forget those. This is such a vibrant discussion going on. And it went on for the full hour and some into lunch afterwards. So the Unconference, I think, was an unmitigating success, and it's thanks to Frank and his team there. And we've seen a lot on the tweet sphere today about people saying, yes, it should definitely go ahead next year. There were questions asked. I would just say, please do it. It was really, really useful. And if anyone's still here that was from yesterday, put your hands up quickly. Was it good? Not. Did someone say not? Yeah, I think we all found it was really, really useful.
Perfect. Thank you. Is it on? No. Oh. Well, thanks very much for that. I thought it would be good to actually get someone who was there, other than someone who organized it. to say a few words. So thanks very much for that. Just to kind of wrap up the key points, which Paul kind of mentioned already, is I thought yesterday for people who attended, they thought it was, it was a valuable sharing experience. You could talk about what you do and what other people do. Surprisingly, I thought there was a need for people to better understand Moodle 2 and what it actually does and how it works. So I don't know if kind of the community itself can pick up on that. One thing I mentioned earlier is the kind of, someone's probably done it, so just ask. I mean, there's no need in reinventing the wheel. And kind of what I want to close with is how do you want to continue with the kind of unconference format? Because I know there's been a few people saying it would be good to have it with the Moodle Mood. Maybe you want to have something different. So again, maybe on Twitter or blogs, kind of get a discussion going. And get yourselves together, so to speak. That's it from me in terms of the Unconference. I have a few other announcements, which I know people have been asking for. The evening entertainment, we are currently located in Senate House. The evening entertainment will be in ULU, which is University of London Student Union. And it's literally just out the doors and up the road, Marley Street, so it's less than 5 minutes, I would even say. On the topic of evening entertainment, please check your badge. Your little badges with the color code. Green means you're in, red means you aren't. If you're red and you think you should be green, come and talk to me. So we can look into that, because unfortunately, fortunately, we are fully booked. We don't have any spare space. So unless you're on the list, you can't, unfortunately, come in. And the other issue, which I know kind of came up during the day, I know there's been some issues with the Wi-Fi. It actually turned out that we had almost 700 devices trying to register, considering we have 320 people here. Our guys are actually going to reboot the system and kind of make it more feasible for tomorrow. We didn't want to do it during the day because Murphy's Law dictates that then something else would go wrong. So please bear with us, but tomorrow morning you can register your iPad and your iPhone and your Android and your laptop. So that's me done. So I'm kind of going to hand you back to Phil. Just oh, sorry, 6:30 tonight. So try not to be too early. I know there were some really kind of keen people today and yesterday coming an hour early. There are no drinks until 6:30, so there's no need to come early. If you wanted to.
There is.
Yep.
There's a Senate House tour at 5:30. It's a bit of a magical mystery tour. Lots of mystery, very little magic. Sorry, but we're meeting here at 5:30, and it will be about half an hour. And I just want to show you some key places around for those that want to come. Can I just get a show of hands that those would be interested in coming along to that? Okay, that's great. I don't want too many people showing up. Okay, and actually what Paul said about not sectors, cohorts that attend Moodle Moot, I think actually that's one thing we missed this morning. Can we get the techies to stand up again, please? Techies, just stand up again.